Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT Live at CES is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com. This is TWiT Live special number 110, live from CES, Day 4. TWiT coverage at CES is brought to you by Ford, featuring all-electric and hybrid electric technologies. Learn more about the technologies at ford.com/technology. And by Squarespace, the fast and easy way to create a high-quality website or blog. For a free trial and 30% off your new account for 3 months, go to squarespace.com and use the offer code CES1. Leo Laporte here, and how are you, everybody? We are here on the last day, the dregs of CES 2012. You know, it's interesting. Let me introduce my panel, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Scott Wilkinson is here. He's been here all 4 days. How many miles have you walked, Scott?
Oh, let's see. I've been...
He's the host of the Home Theater Geeks podcast. We did a great one from the show floor.
I've done over 40,000 steps, 32.16 miles so far.
That is amazing. That is truly incredible. What's your record?
Oh, this is my record.
Easily.
Easily.
Oh, that's
Easily.
great.
Last year was in the 20s.
That's because you had to go to the Venetian.
Oh, yeah.
Go to this, all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Also here, and we're really glad to have him because he's the guy who empowered all of this from NewTek.com, NEWTEK.com, Philip Nelson. Hey, Phil.
Leo, it's so exciting to be here on the TWiT stage.
Now, NewTek was part of last night's IAWTV Awards, weren't you?
Yeah, we actually powered the live webcast. So how ironic. They do a show about streaming video, and we decided to stream it.
It makes sense.
Revolutionary.
Nobody else would be better at doing it than NewTek. And which one did you use, 850?
The Extreme.
Yeah,
850 Extreme.
Of course. That's what we're using.
If it's good enough for Leo Laporte, it's good enough for the IAWTV Awards.
We owe it to you because, in fact, without your help, we wouldn't be able to afford an 850 Extreme.
That's good.
But it's a really nice box. Actually, it's not that. What's 25 grand, something like that?
Yeah, they range depending on what you need in it.
What features you put on there?
25K is roughly what the 850
actually, if you think about I was watching Spike, they had a truck.
Yep.
They had a $1 million facility. We could do everything they could do with a TriCaster. I didn't want to tell them, because I thought, let them spend $1 million.
Let them waste the money.
Let them spend that Taco Bell money. Anyway, at the event last night, when they say in the Academy Awards, this is heavy, that's nothing compared to this. This thing is a brick. You see this?
Perfect for the brick house.
This is they were nominated in the news category and winning in the news category. Tech News Today, Best News Web Series from the International Academy of Web Television 2012. Their first year, and I have a feeling it was a well-produced event. I have a feeling this is the one that's going to stick and be around. And so it is such an honor for our team to have that award in the very first year of the IAWTV Awards.
I was backstage cheering when they called your name.
My name wasn't my name.
Well, your team's name.
It was
the TWiT name.
Tom Merritt, Sarah Lane, Ayaz Akhtar, and they totally deserved it. Jason Howell, their producer, and we even got the envelope.
You have the ribbon encrusted envelope.
Yeah.
Only
I didn't see it because I was at Love. Who read the award? Who was it that gave them the award? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Was it Felicia Day or one of them?
There were a lot of cool people.
Shira Lazar was hosting. Shira was What's Trending, won a bunch of awards. Shira
she
was
did well.
Best streaming web host. The show was best streaming show. It deserved, and there it is. It's not. We didn't make this up. It actually says Tech News Today on here. I think that's so great.
So when they open the award and say the winner is, and that's what you see.
We were up against all the nominees were good. This was not a cakewalk by any means. Philip DeFranco show and others. So I'm very proud of our team.
You know, the thing that's great about the world we live in today is web TV is not a compromise.
Well, and I think that's what's exciting about this. And we are at the infancy of a new medium. I mean, there's no question it's just beginning. We're not as polished as NBC or CBS or ABC. But because of the nature of what we do and the nature of our audience and the nature of the fact that we super serve a particular niche, I think we can do a better job for the stuff that we do than anybody else. And I think this is the future. You look at all those smart TVs out there, every one of them. In fact, when we were over at the was it the Samsung booth?
Yeah.
I saw the TWiT logo float by as one of the, of course, applications that they support. So you'll be able to watch all of these streaming shows on your big screen TV exactly as if they were on the cable
Well,
because they are.
You know, what's
Yeah.
great for us is, you know, now that, you know, we've been pushing the word of streaming for a long time with TriCaster and empowering people to make web TV that looks like broadcast television. And now, as you said, the world is ready because now their TVs can easily accept that signal. Right. And so it really is not, the gatekeepers are gone.
But the economics of niche television are different from the economics of mainstream television.
Yeah.
Instead of 18 million people watching, you've got 18,000 people watching. So you have to do it economically, and that's where the TriCaster really saves our butt.
Right.
We could not, I mean, instead of $1 million truck, we've got the TriCaster, and we're able to do everything. Lower thirds. We've been using, actually, this is the first time we've really used the special, you know, the floating lower thirds and all the end. There we go.
There we go.
Isn't that cool? I love that. It was Josh Molina that gave it. How could you forget that? Josh Molina is an example of old Hollywood coming halfway to meet new media. He, of course, is an actor who was on The West Wing. He was on Studio 60. He's a great actor. You recognize him immediately if you don't know the name. And he did his own web series this year. So he, I think, like a lot of actors, are entering into this realm of internet broadcasting. It's very exciting. It's good for you guys.
It's great for NewTek and the TriCaster.
And yet, and I think this is wonderful too, you told me that there are a lot of broadcasters using TriCasters.
Well, you know, that's what's exciting about
it. Goes both ways.
It does, because, you know, when we designed it, we wanted anyone to be able to produce live TV. And what's cool is, you know, we've got 5th and 6th graders here in Las Vegas using TriCaster to do a daily newscast. And the same technology that they're using, you're using, MTV's using,
right.
The NBA is using,
right.
and so really it's an even playing field. So these elementary kids are learning the tools that are being used to produce red carpet coverage of the MTV Movie Awards. And so, you know, imagine the head start these guys are going to have.
Absolutely.
It's scary.
Yeah, well, it scares me because I'm an old man, and I am now a gatekeeper. Stay out of this. Stay out of it,
or they'll help you run your studio for you.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a lot of kids actually working for us because they're cheap and they work long hours. And no, because they're very enthusiastic, and I love having them. And it does make a big difference. These guys get it in ways. Well, Alex, who's running the TriCaster here, he's 25. He immediately grokked it. He sat down, and you know, he started as an intern for us.
Did he really?
Yeah. And he sat down and he's mastered it, and he's become our TriCaster expert.
Well, you know, Alex deserves the TriCaster expert title because he's the only one I've seen in the TWiT booth with a lab coat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's pretty cool.
He takes it pretty seriously.
He does. He has his TriCaster master lab coat.
He's actually sterile. So, no, I mean
we have derailed. We have completely derailed.
I mean his hands. Somebody in the chat room said, "Don't take this the wrong way." EB fan said, "Don't take this the wrong way." But one of the things I like about TWiT is it's not super polished like professional television, and I don't take that the wrong way. What I take that to mean is that we are authentic, we're real. Yeah. You don't hear a highly edited, highly polished production, and we don't want it to be that way. We want it to feel as if we're your friends, you're here with us, and I hope that you've enjoyed our coverage of CES. We want to do it down and dirty, like you're on the show floor with us. And we do.
Yeah.
You know,
we did on Wednesday, that's for sure.
Well, and I have to apologize. We use a live view device to do the streaming, which is a wonderful live view device. And we thought, and this is one of the things that we do that is unique, is we often use products that are not release products. In this case, we wanted to try the new little live view instead of the old big 25-pound backpack that we'd used for years. What we didn't know, we had tested it with one mic. What we didn't know is there was a software bug, which they are fixing now, of course, because we found it. We're very good at finding the bugs in everything we use. And it turned out there was a bug. They couldn't do two mics. So I apologize profusely. We didn't know until the end of the broadcast that our audio was so bad, and I apologize mostly to you. It wasn't Live View's fault. We just didn't fully test it in the exact same environment.
With the two microphones, right.
So I totally apologize. Those Live Views are amazing. And, of course, we then did iPad today, very much the same, but we used the 25-pound pack the next day.
And that worked all right.
Great. So I apologize. But you know what's good? We do have, of course, we record as we're going, high-quality HD recording in that very nice Sony Cinecam EX1.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and the audio's fine in that
it's more than fine. It's stereo and everything.
Beautiful.
So if you were, I'm sorry if you were watching Home Theater Kings, I apologize. But download it and you'll get the full, tour of everything. And actually it's better to watch it in high def because then you can see at least a little bit better how good those OLED TVs.
Oh, man, no kidding.
Yeah.
but we were really down in the trenches, and you had a couple of people sort of, Hilton, the cameraman, was backing up while he was shooting us, and there was these crowds all around, and
I love it.
People were blocking people out of the way. Watch out!
I love it, and you know, we like, partly because we understand that you understand, our audience understands that we, just like you, are trying out things on the cutting edge. You live on the bleeding edge, so do we.
Exactly.
And they're very patient. They understand that if things don't work, you know, in the early days of the TriCaster, mostly because of us, not because of you, we were having all sorts of problems because I was hanging drives off the edge of it.
Right.
And they understand, you know. And by the way, I hope folks at home, because you remember the clarion call about, I would always say the TriCaster's down, right? Hasn't been down once. Not once since we moved to the new studio. 6 months non-stop running. It's been flawless. So that, first of all, you guys really stepped up. The 850 is fantastic. Windows 7 instead of XP. Great solid-state hardware. A hot swappable, 4 hot swappable drives in the bay. I mean, this is an amazing piece of hardware. But I got to give you props. Because people remember, they'd say, don't go under the desk, don't go under the,
don't go under the desk.
And I'd break the TriCaster. So I gotta give you, and that was me.
I would be sitting in my office and it'd be like, no. It's like in slow motion. If I see Leo go under the desk, I always got nervous. So
I would screw it up every time. But so it's a bunch of different people. But I want to give you guys a lot of credit, because this 850 rocks the world. I mean, we bang on it more than anybody.
You guys are beyond the word power user.
We run it 24/7.
It's like torture. You're the torture testers. That's, if it can survive Leo Laporte, it can survive anyone.
But they don't let me in the basement.
they didn't give you a key, did they?
Don't go in the basement. So no, so really, it is very, very reliable. Well, and you know, this is a good example where this is not the ideal situation. We're running that 850 XT Extreme here on the show floor, you know, in a wild environment, and it's once again flawless.
Well, you know, it's designed for mission critical stuff. You know, when you have a show that's sponsored by big dollar sponsors and heavy hitters, you need to have a show that's running. So.
Every television studio, every television station, every truck I've ever used has redundancy on everything. Everybody tells me, why don't you have 2 TriCasters?
I think you should buy a second just for fun. That's a great idea, Leo. I think you should have 3 TriCasters.
Philip, if it went down more often, we would.
Okay, well, I accept that reason of not having a second.
Philip, it's so great to see you. And again, profuse thanks. TriCaster rocks.
It's good to be here with you guys.
We couldn't do what we do without it. You know, truthfully, what's made streaming web television possible is the fact that production costs are so much less that we can afford to do this, and the big piece of that is the TriCaster.
Well, what's exciting is working with you. You're a bleeding edge guy, and you really did take a chance on TriCaster when it was unknown.
I looked at everything, I said, this is the one I want to use, and we've been super happy with it.
Yeah, so you put us on the map.
Oh, I don't think so.
You did. You really did. I mean, I mean, everywhere I go, I was with one of some heavy hitter broadcast guys, and they didn't know me. They didn't know NewTek. They're like, I listen to Leo Laporte every day. I listen to his podcasts, and I just wanted to meet this TriCaster guy. You know, so I hear that everywhere I go. So you have an insane fan base.
And Beatmaster's asking me to ask you about Free Willy 4.
Oh my gosh! Escape from Pirate Cove.
Yeah.
I host a segment on a web television show called Stupid for Movies. It's a movie review show, and my segment is called Parental Guidance. And so every week I will recommend a movie for kids and families to watch. And Colin Hanks was a guest on the show that night.
Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah, and my recommendation was Free Willy 4 Escape from Pirate Cove, and he ragged me beyond belief. I mean, and he was the guest after me, and he probably talked for 20 minutes about Free Willy and how stupid that suggestion was. And so everywhere I go, somebody's like, hey, how's Free Willy? You know, and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have picked Free Willy 4 Escape from Pirate Cove. So we've officially derailed.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It really was. Thank you for
Philip,
thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Gosh, I can't thank you enough for TriCaster. Everybody who wants to know more about this, NEWTEK, NewTek.com.
Cheers.
And we recommend the top of the line, the 850 Extreme, because that's what we use.
Available for starting at $5,000 though. So if a
No, it's
school
very
wants it, they
affordable.
can.
I think a lot of schools use it, and I want to set my school up with a 3-camera setup, and that's exactly what I'll do.
I will help them do that.
Thank you, Philip.
See you guys later. Have fun at
Take care.
CES.
Philip
Thanks,
Nelson, NewTek, co-conspirators in success. That's what Tough Man says.
I like that.
I like it too. We're going to continue on with our coverage of CES, the last day, the final day. Is it with a sigh of relief that we say those words?
Yes.
You wouldn't think 4 days, but you've been here since Sunday, so
I have.
So 6 days could be so tough. But there's something about this. I guess first of all, it's overstimulus.
Serious overstimulation all over the place. Plus, it's so spread out. I mean, you've got over 1 million square feet of convention center space, plus several hotels, off-site hotels that are filled floor to ceiling with other exhibitors. So I was just over at the Venetian this morning, and they've got 20 floors of stuff. And
I haven't even been there. I saw the shuttle, and I thought, oh, crud, I forgot to go over to the Venetian. And that's where PMA is too, the Photo Marketers Association.
Exactly.
So the cameras are over there. This is part of the frustration. You cannot see it all, even if you walk 31 miles.
I mean, yeah, and we've got 5, I think, people covering the show. And
right.
Even with that, all we're doing is looking at home theater.
You're talking about hometheater.com.
Yeah, hometheater.com, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, we have other websites here. We have Stereophile, we have Interfidelity.com, and we have Audiostream.com, which is just doing audio streaming, computer audio stuff. And, I don't think each of them can see all of what they are covering either.
It's one of the reasons, frankly, we rely on you and people like you. We've had editors from Engadget, The Verge, from HomeTheater.com, Mashable. Come on, because you guys are all out there, and you're our eyes and ears, and we're the eyes and ears of our fans at home. So we try to take everybody's knowledge and bring it in here and coalesce it as best we can. I think in the long run, you probably get a better experience of CES watching all day than you have if you had to come down here on the show floor.
Now, there is some level of excitement.
Well, it's fun to be here.
It's fun to be here. There's an energy level that you can't get any other way than to actually be here.
I've talked to maybe half a dozen people. Every time I run into somebody, I say, first time, and about half a dozen people said yes, and they were all just bug-eyed and happy and said, I'm so thrilled I came. So if you can get in, I mean, it's not open to the public technically, but
if you know a dealer, if you're friends with a dealer, or somebody at a manufacturer,
it's worth it.
They can usually get you a badge. If you're a geek, this is geek heaven.
It is.
Totally.
It really is.
Totally.
So before we have more people to talk to before we do, I just might ask you what your highlight of the show was. Was there anything that particularly stood out for you?
2 things really. OLED TVs.
I have to say,
OLED
you've
TV.
Converted me. At first, a lot of times you come to the CES and there are demo things like the 108-inch LCD, which nobody's going to ever buy.
Concept products.
We saw a lot of concept cars too from all the manufacturers.
Right.
But you convinced me that this is not that.
No. It used to be. In years past, Sony and Samsung and LG would all show their OLED TVs at maybe 20 inches, 22 inches, 30 inches, and say, "Oh, this is what's coming down the road several years. It's a concept product. Don't expect it to be a product." But this year, LG and Samsung both introduced 55-inch OLED TVs that are going to be actual products you can buy this year.
That means, I think, that the television world is about to flip on its head. These look so much better.
That's exactly right.
Everybody's going to want one.
That's exactly right. It's a game changer. It really is. And
First time we've seen a new television technology since SED, which never even came out.
That's exactly right.
We haven't. This is once every decade at best.
Yep.
So that is very exciting.
Huge.
Kirk Harnack is here, and we're going to see 2 really exciting products from a single company.
Oh, yeah?
The new Parrot AR drone and some headphones that I just die for. But we're going to show you that in just a little bit. Before we do, I want to talk a little bit about our friends at Ford. Ford made some big announcements. I had a great time talking to Alan Mullally. If you have not watched that interview, it's on our TWiT specials. He's the CEO of Ford. And I was sad to hear, and I should have talked to him about this, but I found out afterwards, he's announced that he's going to be retiring in a year or 2. This man has transformed this company. He acknowledged that there have been years where Ford has not made the best vehicles. They really they let quality go downhill.
Oh, yeah.
But he turned this company around, and I think there's no question in my mind. I drive a 2010 Mustang. I talk to Ford owners all the time. They have not only turned the quality around, but they are in the absolute forefront in the whole world of using new technologies in their vehicles. Of course, we talk about Ford Sync and my Ford Touch all the time. I'm such a fan of Sync. I won't drive any other car because I love being able to talk to my phone and make calls and listen to music. And it's such a great technology. But one of the things they talked about here, and Alan talked about with us, is the new powertrains, energy-efficient vehicles. And a lot of people have kind of slammed Ford saying, hey, look at those other companies. They've got electric vehicles. Where's Ford's electric vehicle? And Alec explained to me, he said, we could have done a single electric vehicle years ago. What we decided to do instead was something much more sweeping. We want to make all of our vehicles available in every possible drivetrain. So they're retooling all of their assembly lines, all of their vehicles. So as the years go by, you'll be able to buy any Ford vehicle in gas, diesel, electric, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and depending on your need, you'll be able to get the right fuel-efficient vehicle for you. That is an overall strategy that's huge. Take a look at the new 2012 Focus. The Focus Electric is almost here now. I've been waiting for it. I'm on the list, the waiting list. It uses all the latest technologies, lithium-ion batteries. You can top it off without any problem. It charges faster than anybody else. They're saying 3 to 4 hours using the Leviton charger that you can get from your Ford dealer. That's a 240-volt charger. It's zero emissions, CO, CO2, nothing. It is super efficient, so you get great mileage, infinite mileage, great range, but also the plug-in hybrids that they've announced. They've got the 2013 C-Max Energy plug-in hybrid that is effectively 100 miles a gallon. You plug it in, you charge it when you're home. If you're just tooling around town, you'll never use gas. But if you need a longer range, if you're going to the airport or you're going across the country, you've got the hybrid electric and diesel or gasoline engine so that you have infinite range as well. It really is a smart way to go. In fact, that's what I want now. I've decided I was going to get the electric. Now I want a plug-in hybrid. They also showed the new 2013 Fusion, which will also be available in electric, plug-in hybrid, gas, and diesel. This is a brand new company with great vision, great ideas, a 21st century car company. So I invite you to check out the mobile apps that let you control charging status and charge in off-peak hours, things like that. It's just fantastic. You can find out more at their website, ford.com/technology, or you can drive one today at a Ford dealer near you. I think one of the journalists I was at a dinner with Alan said, when are you going to change the logo? I think it was Josh Topolsky. And we said, no, we're not going to. That's Henry Ford's handwriting.
Yeah, really.
And that is one logo that should never change.
Never. One of the most recognizable in the world.
And Alan said that. He said, what we consider we're doing is polishing the blue oval. He said exactly that. It is the most globally the most recognizable brand, and we ain't changing it. And I agree. Don't change a thing.
Oh, yeah.
But be a 21st century car company. It's the best of both worlds. Drive one of the Ford dealer near you. Hey, let's say hello. First of all, I want to say hi to Kirk Harnack. Great to have you, Kirk.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Host of our This Week in Radio Tech show, and I know you've probably found some fun things to talk about.
I did.
Are you awake?
I am.
Did you stay out late last night?
No, actually,
you look great. You look like you had a good night's sleep.
It's the makeup. Actually, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning because I'm doing business with the East Coast early in the morning.
Oh, my God.
So,
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But I also, before we get to your stuff, I want to say hi to Cristina Sanz from Parrot.
Hi.
It's great to see you, Cristina. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Parrot has announced a couple of products, and this is now we've seen you for the last 2 years at CES with the AR drone. Mm-hmm. So let's start with that. You've added some features. Actually, I think they added them just for me.
Absolutely.
Because I crash that thing every freaking time. You know, they have out in the parking lot, they have races and stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at it. So what have you done to make it a little easier to fly?
Well, we changed a lot of things inside of the drone. And the first thing we did, we make the outer hull a lot sturdier.
Now that you don't have to use that, but it's to protect people so that you don't fly. Because I would fly the drone into people and give them a haircut. And those blades, they're not sharp, they're plastic, but still, you don't want to whap it.
Especially in your house, you know.
In your house especially. And you can fly this in your house. You've seen this. I hope you've seen the video of this in the past. We'll get some video and show you. But this thing hovers and floats, and it's beautiful. And you can use your iPhone to control it. It's got cameras on it, so you can see where you're going. It is so cool.
It is very cool. And I think that the main change that everybody was asking for was to have an HD camera on it. So
Yeah.
now we do have an HD
That
camera.
is so cool.
So you're going to be able to this is the new interface for the application that we have. So you will be able to record.
So as you're flying, you're seeing, but you can also record the video.
Record video or photos. And the coolest thing is that you're going to be able to share them automatically.
Show it to that camera in front of you,
okay.
Chris.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I thought it was.
There you go, right there.
Here is. So basically, you will click here after you just have recorded everything.
Right.
So you choose whatever, and automatically you will be able to share it, to save it, to delete it.
Slide it
So-
a little bit to your right because the microphone's in the way. You can see what you can see if you look to your right. You'll see a television monitor. Then you can see what it looks like, so we know.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that looks great, right?
So basically, we have seen that we have more than 12,000 videos in YouTube.
They're on YouTube. So search for the AR drone on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
And most of them are done in very weird ways. So you will have people gluing cameras on top of a drone.
I've seen people put professional cameras on a drone and get
Absolutely.
incredible helicopter shots without a helicopter. They're amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, in general, we saw that that's an application that everybody wanted to have.
Good.
So this is one of the main reasons we changed into an HD camera.
And you've added another camera, haven't you? Is there a second camera on it?
The second camera, I'm sorry, I'm like with a we.
It's been a long time. Are you French?
No, actually, I'm Spanish,
You're
but I live
Spanish.
in France.
Oh, okay.
So I've been talking in French the
If
whole
you
morning.
feel like speaking French, you just go right ahead. Or Spanish.
Or Spanish, okay. So the other camera, we kept the same definition that before because we use it really to read the floor and for the speed and the stability.
So the software uses that camera to
Yes.
see where it is in
Yeah.
position. And that's what makes it a little harder to crash, right?
It makes and the other thing we have improved a lot is the stability.
Yeah.
A lot.
It almost flies itself at this point.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Now it's a lot easier and a lot more stable.
Kirk's a pilot, so he probably won't
Yeah,
have
he
any
was
trouble.
telling me
Well,
about it.
I've got one of these. I am a pilot. I'm a small plane pilot, not a helicopter pilot.
Oh.
Yeah, I was at the controls of a helicopter for 10 seconds. The guy said, "My helicopter, I got it."
So it's very different.
Yeah. This is much easier.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's a lot more fun and a lot less expensive.
I love this. Now,
Yeah.
how much is the new AR drone?
It's the same price, $299. And
Does it come as a kit? Do I have to put it together, or does it come? I mean, how much assembly am I going to have to do? Comes like that.
It comes exactly like that.
Good,
The only
'cause-
thing you have to do is to choose if you want the inner hole or the outer hole. That's all the thinking you need to
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we have improved also, you remember the sensors?
Yeah.
This sensor helping you to fly up to 5 meters.
Right.
Now we put a pressure sensor that is going to help you to fly up to 15.
So keep it stable vertically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's good, it's a lot easier to when you fly above 5 meters.
Yeah.
You really need a lot of stability
Yeah.
just to be able
15
to
meters is like 3 stories.
Yeah.
We can really go high.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
go
yeah.
very, very
It
high.
makes you want another one, doesn't
Well,
it?
it does. Would you like to buy mine? $299. You have it.
What a deal. Such a deal.
We live on this hillside that is, a goat can't stand on this hillside.
Yeah.
And the house is nestled in this hillside. So we fly this thing down my driveway and then turn toward the hillside, and the automatic altimeter just goes.
It just follows
hillside.
it just automatically
You
follows
can
it.
crash it if you try hard.
Well, I don't have to try, actually.
It does pretty
Very
well.
cool.
The other thing that makes it a lot easier is that remember before you will need to know what is the position
Yes.
of the camera. Just that forward, backward.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter how it is positioned. Forward will be always forward.
Oh, that's good.
It will know always what is front for him. So
What's the battery like for the runtime?
It stayed in 12 minutes,
Okay.
which was a challenge because now it has a lot more
A
things.
lot more electronics.
Yeah. So, we tried very hard to keep the 12 minutes. So this is where we're
Excellent.
staying.
Excellent. It's so cool.
As a geek, the battery technology interested me, and you had Steve Gibson on the show recently talking about charging individual cells,
Yes.
explaining about laptop batteries, and that battery's the same way. You're charging the individual cells with the smart charger.
For maximum efficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, can I just hold those headphones? Because
Absolutely.
you talk about them, but I want to show everybody. So they got Philippe Starck, the great designer, to design headphones. This has been, I think, one of the things, and maybe you'll agree with me, Scott, that was kind of a surprise here. And I think it all started because of people like Dr. Dre and Beats making headphones cool again.
Yeah,
Skull
absolutely.
Candy. And part of it is because all these iPod and these earbuds, everybody hates their earbuds. So there's a really big, good aftermarket on headphones.
Absolutely. Growing. And
Growing.
there's even a hobby about it.
Yeah, I love headphones. And while most of us don't have great stereos at home anymore, you can at least get great sound with good headphones.
That's right.
These are gorgeous. Philippe, not only stark design, but elegant and doing some things that are very interesting. So I'm going to put them on. They're very comfortable. I think people are going for over-ear because they've had it with earbuds, and they want the comfort and the isolation of over-ear. These are active noise reduction, right?
Uh-huh.
But the controls are right on here. So I just swipe my finger. This is next
it's
song,
sort of a gestural
previous
control,
song. It's
yeah.
a gesture. Volume up, volume down. I love that idea. I mean, it's just very sweet. And then there's other features that are cool. So, for instance, I can start playing, but if I want to stop playing, what do? I take the headphones off. It's got an accelerometer. It knows to stop playing when you're not wearing the headphones.
Wow.
I mean, why didn't they do that before? This is so great. Another
what a great idea.
It has jawbone noise cancellation in it, so it also can be used as a Bluetooth headset. Isn't that right,
Absolutely.
Christine? And it has NFC built into it.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the thing I find very interesting, and this is the first time at CES I've heard about the use of NFC with Bluetooth. How does that work?
Well, we found out that the NFC is a very, very simple way of addressing a lot of people that still don't understand how Bluetooth works.
Bluetooth pairing is a pain in the butt.
It's a pain in the butt.
Let's just say it.
And,
yeah.
you know, there's
Let's
a lot
just
of people
say
that it still feels not comfortable looking, and you know, this invisible link, they don't,
Right.
but touching,
So
kind of physical touches, it's, everybody understands.
So I could put a decal on my dashboard, touch this to it, the NFC chip in here says, you're in the car, and all the settings that I've set up ahead of time for the car are on. It pairs, it does everything.
It pairs, and if you have your phone, it will automatically
Tap the phone to
Tap
it?
the phone, that's it. It's connected, and the music will stream automatically.
Wow. This is the beautiful, I love the metal, I love the design on this thing. These are wireless and wired, so you can charge it up and listen wirelessly, or if you're in an airplane where they won't let you do that, you just plug in the wire and it's a wired headphone. When are these available? I can't wait to get one.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
What we did this year basically is we used CES to show all the products we're going to have available this year.
Right.
But a lot of them are in prototype or in a very last stage of
This feels pretty
development.
finished. This feels
It's pretty
it's pretty done.
Very, very finished. We're going to know exactly when are going to be out at the end of
And
this
these
month.
won't be cheap. They'll probably be $300, something like that.
We don't know yet, really. We don't
But
know
that's
yet.
that's a premier pair of headphones is $200 to $300. That's I would
I
expect.
got to think they're going to be more than that.
Maybe even more with all the technologies
I gotta
built
think.
into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They
We'll
sure
find
look
out.
cool.
Parrot's
Yeah.
very good at making stuff affordable. I think this is my next pair of headphones.
That is something else.
I've seen them all now. You know, I mean, everybody has headphones. Ludacris has headphones
Thank
here.
you.
The rap singer.
yeah.
But actually, I didn't see the headphones. All I saw was the models showing off the headphones. They look quite attractive. Christina, what else? Is there other stuff that Parrot brought?
Well, yeah, we brought 3 products. From last year, we launched the Asteroid platform, which is Android for the car.
Okay. That's
so-
right.
yeah.
I forgot about that. You were the first to put Android in the car.
In the car, exactly.
car heading.
So this year, with the same platform, we're just launching 3 more products, all around internet applications. We're going to launch an Asteroid Market, and
Love it. Apps for the car. Love
Absolutely.
it. As an
Apps for the car.
aftermarket. So if you didn't get a Ford Sync, you can add it later after.
We're going to launch one of them is a doubled in. So basically, I always say that you can have a $15,000 car having that in,
Right.
and it will have more technology than an Audi A8,
Right.
for example.
Right.
So that's a pretty neat.
That's exciting. Where is Parrot based?
We're based in Paris. In
Do
the
you need
middle of
anybody to work for you at all?
Absolutely.
Because I like Paris a lot.
Absolutely.
Maybe you need a staff announcer or something. And it sounds like, I mean, there's such a broad variety of products. Are you acquiring these products from people, or you're doing it all in-house?
In-house, full. We have 350 engineers thinking all day
It's
long.
all engineers.
What do we do next?
That is really neat. I love it. Well, the next time we're in Paris, I've got to come see you.
Absolutely.
We were in Paris in December for Le Web. We'll come back for Le Web. I'll come see you when
We were in Le Web.
Yeah, we'll do. I think we should spend an extra day visiting the Parrot offices and seeing all the new stuff.
My pleasure. I will love to show you.
Aren't those beautiful, Kirk? Don't you want them?
Yes.
Put them on. If
Yes.
you put them on, there it's like a little lamb butt on your head.
The other one.
They're so comfy,
Yeah, right.
aren't they?
Yeah.
They just feel nice.
They feel like pillows.
Like little babies' butts on either side of your brain.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's one of the very cool things is I was coming here and I had other headphones with me too.
Right.
Usually on a long trip, battery dies, that's it. No
Right.
more moving.
Yeah.
That's right.
With this one, the passive mode will continue.
That's
over.
nice.
That's
Which
great.
This is, for me as a heavy, I love headphones.
Yeah.
It's a great advantage. I was pushing for that application a lot, so.
Good.
Cristina Sanz from Parrot, it's so great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all these great products.
thank you
and
for
we're very
inviting me.
excited about the future from Parrot.
Sure, and I wait for you in Paris then.
I'm going to come see you. It might be I'll come earlier. I love Paris.
Before I get out of here, I'm going to come see your booth. Where are you? Which hall?
We are just upstairs.
Upstairs? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
No,
Can't-
I mean,
That's
it
what
is-
happened.
I can't believe I missed you with that.
You can miss
Well,
that.
I went
They've got a
upstairs,
huge-
and of course, out in the parking lot, you could fly the drone.
Yeah.
But I went upstairs to see the drone, and I saw those headphones, and I said, "Forget the drone. I want to see these." I flipped. You also have a speaker system that works with these
Yeah.
too wirelessly. I forgot to mention, there's an app for the headphones.
Absolutely.
To let you control the sound stage, to tune it in and out, to control loudness.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is one of the things that we forgot to say. We have created what we call a counter effect. Counter effect, what it means that all the headphones, the music comes from the sides.
Yeah.
But naturally, the music or anything comes from
Right.
in front of you.
Yeah.
So this is what we have simulated that. So in that application, you can
You can
control.
tune it.
Exactly. You can tune what is the angle of that concert effect.
Do you also have a surround simulation?
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, you want to go upstairs.
Yeah.
I want to go
You
upstairs.
definitely.
Yeah, no question.
And the solo, which is what the
That's the speaker system.
The speaker system that is 100 watts, and it's also designed by Philip Stark.
And it also uses the iPhone app.
And so the iPhone app, and we have it for Android
Android
also,
as well, of
and for
course.
iPad. So, the idea is to have in one application, you can grab your headphone
Right.
and the speakers.
Do you have the app on your iPad? Could you just show us?
I don't have it in
You
my
don't
app.
have it on
I'm
there?
sorry, I have it because
It's upstairs.
that is a really prototype.
I
That is
played
the
with it
most
upstairs.
prototype of all
okay.
of them.
I played with it upstairs. It was very,
It's
very
very cool.
Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you very
Really
much.
great to see you.
Great to
Thank
see
you.
you too.
Parrot. And they're amazing products. I didn't realize that. It looks like there's such a range that they're looking for cool stuff and buying it. They design it all themselves.
That's amazing. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow. I'm telling you, those
I'm
headphones,
going.
You've got to go upstairs.
I'm going upstairs after this.
Yeah, the thing that got me first was Philippe Stark. Oh, it's Stark design. But then I listened to him. I played with him. This thing is amazing. So, Kirk, what's been? Do you have something here that you want to show us?
I do. I have some headphones from Able Planet.
Okay.
And I wish I could say they're as cool as what we just saw, but at least they're in stores and they are available now.
Here from Able Planet right now is Kevin Semcken. Hey, Kevin.
Hi,
good
Kevin.
to see you.
How are you? Good to see you.
So you're tall, so lean into that microphone. Okay, I'll give you the Elvis effect right there. Right there. I was, if I had to, we're always as journalists looking for the narrative of CES. What's the story?
Yeah.
And it's been 3D TVs or tablets. We thought maybe it'd be Windows 8 this year. No. But there was a real surprise in the narrative. For me, there were a couple of surprises: smart TVs, and then headphones everywhere. Headphones. It must be the hottest category out there, and I'm willing to hazard a guess because everybody hates their iBuds, their buds from the iPhone.
Yeah.
So tell me about Able Planet.
Well, Able Planet is a company that was actually founded on a hearing aid technology. In 2005 is when we actually purchased the patents, and then submitted the technology to the Consumer Electronics Show under a healthcare initiative to kind of raise awareness.
Right.
And we won the best in category for embedded technologies. Since then, we've actually had many of the leading retailers come by and say, well, what do they sound like in headphones and headsets? and we really didn't know for the general consumer, so we started putting them in. And since 2006, Able Planet has won 36 of the world's most prestigious audio awards. We've established worldwide distribution. International markets are behind the U.S., but in the U.S. you'll find it everywhere in major retailers, right in the front of the store. So in regards to what's happening with headphones, I believe you'll find that there's some new exciting introductions, and when you launch into the consumer electronics business, headphones and audio products that are differentiated by patented technologies that truly enhance the sound quality, you're going to get a lot of interest in those markets.
Well, and that's what's happening because they're aimed at, a lot of these are aimed at kids, so they're not aimed at audio quality. Kids don't know from audio quality.
Yeah, really.
They're aimed, the Skull Candy, the bright colors, or Dr. Dre sells these, or Ludacris sells these, and so it isn't. They never, when you talk about any of these, they never really mention audio quality. That is not a high priority, and yet for us older folks, and I think for kids too, if they start to understand this, sound quality is paramount. That's why you're wearing headphones.
Yeah, I think it's really important too to expose the younger folks to quality so that they know the difference.
Or we're going to lose it.
That's exactly right. I was curious to know what is the hearing aid technology, the enhancement technology that you put into these?
Right. The technology is called Lynx Audio, and what it does from a hearing perspective is that the vast majority of hearing loss is in the high frequencies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what the technology does, and actually it's an analog technology, it's not a digital technology.
Really?
Yeah. So it's, basically if you go to the audio files, I think a lot of them will tell you that the enhancements of digital make sound really unreal. It cleans it up, it makes it nice, but it doesn't make it sound live.
Right.
This analog technology actually converts every single fundamental sound into a chord. So you have two amplified high frequencies that are created off of the fundamental sound. So what you can do then is the limitations in terms of sound quality for current products are that you have to really select your sound. So Bose has their sound, Monster has their sound.
They're unique. Yeah,
it's a unique sound. And it's because you really can't provide a live experience because it's either a very bassy sound or it's a mid-range sound. Right. But with Lynx Audio, you can move towards a fuller bass sound without masking those high frequencies, because the high frequencies then push through. So all of a sudden you hear the pounding of the bass drum and the guitar strings come through and voices are clearly heard.
I want to hear these.
So you're eliminating masking essentially of one frequency by another.
That's exactly right.
That's actually, it's interesting because that's how MP3 works.
By eliminating frequencies that you wouldn't otherwise hear.
I remember we interviewed Klaus Maria Brandenburg, the guy who invented the MP3 codec at Fraunhofer.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. The insight we had is that when the ear's hearing one chord, it tends to not hear another parallel chord. So when we see that note, I should say, we can eliminate that second note and with minimal change to the music. But you're taking advantage of that fact by enhancing that second note. So if I can't hear the first note very well, the second note will help me hear it? Is that what's going on?
Well, actually you are amplifying. So in the high frequencies, so it's actually like a chord. In the high frequencies, it still provides a fuller, richer sound. And what happens is that amplification of the high frequencies is 30-40% at normal listening levels. So it really pushes through and actually prevents these sounds from being masked.
Is this only for old folks?
Actually, it's a great comment. The vast majority of our sales actually are sold between 18 and 40-year-old.
Interesting. People who have good high frequency response.
That's exactly. Well, this is what happened. So after the customers, the retailers came back and said what they sound like, we started building them. Able Planet has actually become, and I believe in 2012 will be the #1 noise canceling headphone in the world.
And I've never tried them.
This headphone, so that these headphones, this line of headphones, I believe Able Planet will top 1 million units this year.
Wow. No kidding.
Wow.
And active noise canceling as well?
And only active noise canceling.
Mm-hmm. They're very comfortable. They're over ear. More and more. This is all we're seeing is over ear,
which is certainly my preference.
Well, I like in-ear monitors because they, this is what I'm wearing right now, Ultimate Ears.
Sure.
Because they're, on the air they're not very visible, and they do isolation not with active canceling, but just by sealing your ear.
Right. Passive.
These passive, but they're uncomfortable. So when I'm in the studio, I wear AKG K240s. I like over-ear headphones, but I'm going to have to try these.
Yes.
This might be my new headphone, huh? How much are, what's the price range on Able Planet headphones?
Well, these headphones, the ones that you're wearing, are $349. The interesting part of the Clear Harmony line is that Apple has actually selected Able Planet as a gift with purchase partner. Some of our headphones, like the one you're wearing, actually is part of that program, where if you purchase a Clear Harmony headphone, you'll actually get the gift of an iPod Touch that'll come with the headphone.
Well, that's a good deal.
That's a good
deal.
deal.
That.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Apple, I guess, realizes that those white earbuds are really not high fidelity.
Well, there's another very critical point that you bring up about the younger listeners, is that we have all of these things have been shown in engineering trials and studies, and you can see the results of the perception of loudness of a chord versus a note.
Yes.
And at identical volumes,
Interesting.
a chord just sounds louder. So people are turning Able Planet headphones down,
Which is
listening
good
at
for
lower.
kids because they listen at too high a level. They deafen themselves. It's a real problem, hearing loss in young people.
That being said, this morning I listened to these at very high volume, and they did not crack or distort. Now, I did play some songs that already had a great deal of high-frequency energy, and it was a bit too much. And I felt like I had to go hit the EQ a little bit because of the Lynx audio technology that was adding some frequencies to it. But
So
at
you
low
turn it
volume,
down.
At low volume, what I really liked, I love headphones that you could really hear the bass guitar line. You know, that 180 hertz, 120 hertz, 60 hertz, 55 hertz, that kind of stuff. And these absolutely kick butt for hearing that without cracking and without
Breaking up.
without giving intermod distortion to the other frequencies.
Right.
So I really appreciated that about these.
Well, Kirk, these particular headphones, the technology, one of the other interesting factors that was shown in the engineering labs is that when you turn up standard audio products and it gets to a volume that is very high and actually overwhelms the speaker, the signal is hard clipped off.
Right. Sure.
So once the hard clipping starts to happen, the distortion sets in. No matter what level you turn these up to, the Lynx audio soft clips the signal.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why you're getting the.
So there's
that's
a
why
lot
you get
going on in these.
a tremendous
no
amount.
kidding.
of that.
Well,
I hope that you're not boosting the level in this Lynx audio system to require people to. I mean, I'm very concerned about noise-induced hearing loss, and so when I hear that you're amplifying frequencies which people with hearing aids would need, people without hearing aids, it might. I'm hoping that it doesn't exacerbate the problem.
This is a very important point. When you alter an audio signal in any event at identical levels, you're not increasing the intensity of the entire signal at any point. What you're really doing is you're shifting. So to boost the higher frequencies, you're actually taking a little bit off of the lower frequency.
Interesting.
So it's a transition away from the lower frequency towards the high frequency. But then if you every single headphone has to have a perfectly matched, they're called Lynx coils, with a high performance speaker. So you can actually then move the speaker to a bassier sound. That will compensate for the loss in the bass, and then you have the frequency
this is
come through.
borne out by the fact these do work when turned off. So
They do.
if the batteries die, now it does sound bassy. You lose some of the high end because they've tuned it that way.
Right.
But you can still listen. You can finish the movie if you need to. But you're not going to run out of battery. You know why? Here's where the batteries go. Okay, two
they're
double
real
A's.
batteries.
Okay, well wait a minute. Over on this side, it's the backup batteries.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't put any in there, but that's where the spare batteries
That's
go.
a nice idea.
Excellent.
Which, what a blessing.
Long flights.
Yeah, not have to. Excuse me, I have to get out to get to my overhead so I can get some batteries.
Yeah.
They're right here.
No, that's
All right.
great.
Hey,
Fantastic.
we want to thank you for coming by, Kevin. Able Planet, is it ableplanet.com?
It is ableplanet.com, and the product's available in retailers across the country.
Apparently, Apple stores too.
Apple.com is putting
online.
it online.
Okay. Great.
It's putting it on in February, and then Brookstone, Costco, and a lot of that.
There's one more thing to know. There is an accessory available. You unplug this, and there's a boom mic that goes in here.
Oh, excellent.
And yesterday I made some phone calls from your booth on my cell phone using that boom mic, and I talked to some audio experts at Omnia, and they said, Kirk, it sounds really good. Of course, it's a noise-canceling mic, so the bass is rolled off a bit, but they could hardly tell I was in a noisy convention center.
And actually, that mic, that Lynx microphone, has the technology in the microphone, so we're actually transmitting the altered sound, and that's why they're hearing it. I'd like to make one last point so that you know, in regards to the people who, do they like the age and do they like the sound? Actually, Able Planet is in the process of not only disrupting the hearing aid market, we're coming out with really aggressive pricing on personal sound amplifiers for people. We're also going to challenge the people in these marketplaces to outperform us. And actually, at the show here, we did a Hear the Difference challenge side by side with Bose. And by the end of the show, we calculated it all up, and as of right now, the buyers, the engineers, everyone at this show, 4 out of 5 people preferred Able Planet. So that's about to hit the airwaves next week.
That's a hell of a big market that you're taking on. I think that's great. Because that's all you see on the airplanes is those Bose headphones.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, good. I'm going to try them. Obviously, you like them.
Where's your booth?
Our booth is as you come into the central hall, right by LG. Is the easy way to explain it. We're right on the right side, right by the front door.
I'll have to wander over. Kevin Semcken from Able Planet. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
In just a minute, we're going to show you your own personal missile launcher that you can have on your desk. Yes. Finally.
Can't wait. I've been waiting for this for years.
Actually, people who are watching at home may recognize this because I think one of our staffers has one of these. We'll talk about that in just a second. Leo Laporte with Kirk Harnack from This Week in Radio Tech, with Scott Wilkinson from Home Theater Geeks in the final waning hours.
Here we come.
Of CES. I have a 4:30 flight. I think I'm gonna be one of those people that gets out of the plane and kisses the ground. Kisses the ground. Free at last. Free at last.
You and 100,000 of your closest friends at the airport.
It's funny because every time we come to CES, you look forward to it. You're so excited.
I am.
And you get here and you hit the ground and you're just loving it. Day 1 goes by and you're still loving it. Day 2 goes by and you're kind of dragging a little bit. Your throat's going. Day 3 comes by and you go, oh my God, I don't know if I. Day 4 comes and you get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Well, I'm driving home tomorrow, so I'm going to sleep in tomorrow morning.
Good idea. And actually, that's why we encourage you to watch. Stay home and watch.
Stay home
our
and
coverage.
watch. That's right.
This show brought to you, as always, by our great friends at Squarespace.com. The secret behind exceptional websites. If you've got a website that's frustrating you because you're not able to customize it the way you want, if you've got a hosting company that's not giving you the bandwidth you need when you need it, if you just want something better, I gotta show you Squarespace.com. Visit it right now, Squarespace.com. You can try it free for 2 weeks. It is both hosting and content management software to make it really easy to create the website of your dreams. Squarespace uses very sophisticated, I think it's the best in the business, hosting technology so that you never run out of bandwidth. You know, we crash sites all the time. Guy came over here yesterday to show his avatar chat, warlines.com. Boom. Down, boom, 503. Couldn't get on the site because everybody was watching at home said, that's cool, I want to try it. Now that's a disaster. If you're launching a new product, you've got thousands of people excited about your product and they can't see it. It doesn't ever happen with Squarespace. We've tried on TWiT. I said, go to this site, try to bring it down, or go to inside.twit.tv, our blog site. You can't bring it down. And the reason is they're using some virtual server technology that just fires up new servers automatically as needed.
They need it.
So you always have as much bandwidth as you want. Yeah. Very affordable, incredible UI for creating and managing websites or blogs. And I say websites too because a lot of people think, oh, it's blogging software. Oh no, you can do anything. A lot of photographers use it for portfolios. Many companies use it for e-commerce, non-profits, profit-making companies, and more. If you've got an existing site, you might want to take a look at the import and export support for WordPress, Blogger, Movable Type, TypePad. You're never stuck at Squarespace. And when you import your stuff, all of it comes with you. Comments, links. No links are broken. No SEO is changed. You get your full site imported over into that new Squarespace look. They've got social media buttons to connect your website visitors to your networks on Facebook and Twitter. Easy set up for Flickr, for Twitter. They've got widgets for all that stuff. Google Maps, search engine optimizers to make it more effective for you. This is actually the kind of stuff you'd pay an SEO a lot of money for. Squarespace builds it right in. Permission access handling, so you can have multiple editors. Just give it a try. Squarespace.com. Click the Try It Free button. You've got it for 2 weeks. You don't need a credit card or anything. Just the name of your site, a password, and an email address. If you decide to buy, we do have an offer for you. 30% off for the first 3 months when you use the offer code CES1. That's CES and the number 1. Squarespace, the secret behind exceptional websites. Try it today, and don't forget to use CES1 when you decide to buy. I think you're going to agree. Squarespace is simply put the best web hosting there is. You can't bring it down. The secret behind exceptional websites. From Dream Cheeky, is it Ente Breed? Is that how you say it? Ente?
You can say it any way you want to.
Move that microphone towards you. You can get it closer to you. I got you. Yes, you get your notes.
Here we go.
Now this is the Dream Cheeky iLaunch Thunder Missile Launcher.
Yes.
I think I saw this on Think Geek.
Yes.
I think we've actually purchased a few of these for the studio.
Well, maybe you remember in October, Alex Lindsay. It was his
pick. It was his Mac Break pick of the week.
But that was this one, and that was like connected to the Mac through.
So it's a
USB.
It's a USB, and you have software on your Mac. You can aim it and fire at will.
So after October, we took it one step further. So now we have a Bluetooth connected.
So I could place it anywhere within 30 feet.
Fire it yourself.
And I can hide. And I can then fire. Because that's the problem. They can follow that USB cord right to my laptop.
Right. And you can
Shall I fire
phone
it?
If you
Shall I try it? All right. So the software is on here already. This is nice software, I have to say.
Thank you.
You can see how easy it is to use. So I just aim it like this?
Yes.
So as I steer the phone.
Wait, where's? Oh, there it is. You shot yourself.
You set me up. You set me up, you son of a gun. You said just press that button. Boom. Well, that was fun. That's cool. It doesn't hurt. It's like a Nerf.
It's a Nerf missile.
Yeah.
Wow.
We don't hurt.
Good tactile feedback there.
Wow. It really, I immediately knew where it was going. Jeez, I did it again. This is fun. This is a little more robust than the last version. This is good. I like it.
We improved that a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
You can also use the.
Oh, watch out.
The G mode.
I think I can aim it at you. Let's see.
Getting back at him now.
This is so much.
Watch out now.
Oh, see, I'm aiming it with the accelerometer.
Right.
You can do that too.
That is so cool.
Whoa, go back the other way. Go back the other way. See, he placed it so I can't quite turn it towards him. Yeah, let's see if I can hit Scott.
No, you're going to hit you again now.
What? No.
And press it a little bit longer so you have time to change your mind if you want to. There we go.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Golly. Hey, that's cool.
That is cool.
It is so much fun. So it uses the accelerometer. It's iPhone only?
iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch.
Oh, this is really,
and this
really
is just
cool.
the first app that we brought out on the market.
Now you're targeting me.
I am targeting Scott Wilkinson. I believe I have acquisition.
I should have brought me more missiles.
You need more missiles.
There we go. Oh! Oh, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is way too much fun.
This is way
I
too
like
much.
the name of the company, Dream
you so much.
Cheeky.
Thank you.
And how much is the iLaunch Thunder Missile Launcher?
The iLaunch Thunder Missile Launcher is $99.99.
And you can buy it at Think Geek?
Yes, you can buy it at ThinkGeek. You can even go to dreamcheeky.com.
Buy it direct.
Buy direct, or you find a list of other retailers. Yeah.
So you have a USB version, but I would get the Bluetooth version because you can see how much more fun that was.
And we're already working on a much better app that has motion detection in it.
Oh, that's what you need, a little camera so I can see.
Yeah.
I can say, target the dog. It's harmless, folks. No hosts were harmed or CES guests were harmed.
I can see that my little son, Kirk Michael Harnack, is going to get hit with one of these pretty soon.
Can you imagine finding that under the tree? That is a great game. That is you gave me my own personal missile launcher. Dad, you're the coolest.
There's 2 cats in the house that I'm not very crazy about. They're getting it.
Really?
Yeah.
We're
not very cat friendly.
Ente, where'd you get to the idea for this? I mean, this is really cool.
I don't know. Well, like you know, we did the USB version first. So this was kind of a logical step for us.
Makes sense.
But yeah,
is this your only product, or you got?
No, we have a lot more products that make useless time in the office.
For the board
useful, yeah.
But you know, you geeks have to buy these like crazy because
Yes.
I mean, this is just a natural.
Oh man.
Dreamcheeky.com.
Dreamcheeky.com.
Find out what. I think we brought your site down. You might want to take a look at Squarespace, by the way.
Thanks.
A little tip. It just got a little slow at dreamcheeky.com.
We're getting a lot of hits lately.
Yeah,
So,
I wonder why. That's great. Nice job. That is
you so
that is even better than the USB one.
Thank you
I
so much.
love that. That's so much fun.
That's great.
Yeah, now if we could put that on an AR drone, we might be set.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thank you, Ente. Really nice to meet you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to say, there are toys here. There are toys for grown-ups.
Yep.
There are toys for geeks.
Yep.
This is really a giant toy store.
You
for
know
people
what?
who love
Oh,
gadgets.
absolutely.
Remember those little snap caps that you had, the little paper wads that you throw on the ground
Yeah.
and go snap, pop, and put those in the tips of the missiles right there.
Yeah, or we could just make contact explosive and dip them in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, a little C4.
yeah, wait, C4. There you go. Thank you, Ente. Take it away before these guys blow the building up.
Man, that
You
is
guys
the
are
perfect
poised.
thing for the Dilbert type office.
Oh, it is
yeah.
totally.
You know, the cubicle with a.
We want to welcome somebody from the Consumer Electronics Association up here. Jim Barry is here. CEA puts on CES. It is a powered by, produced by CEA show. Jim, it's great to see you. Put your headphones on so you can hear us, and we welcome you to the show stage. We are so glad to be a part of this every year.
Well, nice to see you,
Nice to see you,
gentlemen.
Jim. That's
Scott,
great.
Leo, how are you
Kirk,
doing? Hi, Kirk, how
pass
are
me
you?
the card, Kirk, so
Pass
I
that card along
I can
there.
put his
Pass
lower
a
third
couple.
up and make sure everybody
There you
knows who
go.
Jim Barry is. He's the. You're the media spokesperson.
I am. I'm also known as the digital answer man. for
Are
the
you really?
Consumer Electronics
Well, good.
Association.
You know,
Yeah.
here's a chance. So you could answer any question if our chat room asked.
Well,
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
I will do my best.
How big is CES this year?
It is probably the biggest ever. It's already the biggest in number of exhibits with 3,100.
See, that's significantly more. There was a
Yeah.
fear there were going to be 100 less.
Yeah, no, there were 2,700 and something, or 2,800 last year. There's 3,100
So
plus
it is
this
bigger.
year.
Wow.
Last year, the attendance was 149,000 and change. It's going to be more than that this year. I mean, we won't know till the end. And this show is also audited the way magazines, newspapers are. So the official tally comes out like in April or May or something like that. But it's going to be. I've been walking these floors since 1979, as you guys have been also for a long time, and we've seen it change and grow. And this is shaping up to be the biggest one
It's
ever.
actually felt like that. And what's interesting is here we are on day 4, which is normally slow,
Yeah.
and it's
Very slow.
It's jammed. It's as busy as ever.
Exactly. Well, you know, and if you think about it, it really reflects the growth in digital technology. Way back when it was stereos and hi-fi and TV was pretty much it. Now, if you think about all of the electronics and specifically the digital technology that once was on or under our desks or in the back rooms in offices in huge arrays is now in just about everybody's pocket or
Right.
purse.
Right.
So that's really what this reflects. Sales were actually up last year for consumer electronics by a couple of percent. They'll be up again this year.
Yep.
Really leading out of the recession. People always say, well, how can that be? Think about it. A couple of reasons. One, all of this stuff has become part of just about the way everybody lives. The prices are terrific. Very few things where the stuff gets better and the prices get lower. Consumer electronics are the only one. Plus, they're really cool. So
Well, I was talking with Bill Hanold on KFI in the morning, this morning, and he said it seems like everything now is a consumer electronics device. There's computers, there's chips, and everything.
Well, exactly, and that's the next big step. Is everything is connected to the internet. Whether
The Internet
it's,
of Things, we call it,
whether
yes.
it's your pet with the GPS and the controllers with the tag that's here, with T8
Right.
with 2
Or
Gs.
Your refrigerator, your washer,
your
dryer.
refrigerator, and very soon your medication, your pill bottle, so you can monitor it, your physician can monitor it, and that's really another thing that is growing this show is not just gadgets, not just devices, but how they're being used.
Yes.
Whether it's in places like the Silver Summit over there for those of us of a certain age, but
We're all a little bit in that group.
exactly. But the mommy track, the kids at play, the health and fitness, all of the way these things are used, that's more of what we're seeing at the show as well.
Yeah. Microsoft pulled out. This is their last show. Is that going to be a blow to CES?
Well, the space sold in less than an hour.
You're kidding. I heard that that fast.
Yeah. Well,
it's prime real estate.
People ask me.
Seriously.
People ask me when do you start planning the show? Well, I said, next year's show is already. They're selling the space for it. They started the other day selling the space. I've been coming to this, as we said. I'm sure you guys have too. Been coming to the show for a long time. Companies come, companies go.
Right.
Almost pushing 2 million net square feet. So one exhibitor doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, the high-profile companies, sometimes they come. I get asked all the time, why isn't so-and-so at the show? Well, the answer is they are at the show. Everybody's at this show, as you know. Everybody doesn't have an exhibit. Sometimes they're in a hotel suite. Sometimes they're just a whole bunch of them registered here, walking the aisle, seeing what the competition's up to. So there isn't anybody that's in this business that isn't in Las Vegas in January.
Absolutely.
And, people say, well, they said they're never going to. I never say never either. I remember long ago companies that didn't exhibit. I remember when a good CEA member, Apple, used to exhibit here.
Right.
And they don't even exhibit at their own show these days.
They don't need to, but
Right.
go to the iLounge, which is bigger than ever.
Exactly. That whole iLounge ecosystem. You're absolutely right, Leo. So everyone is here. I mean, it's a spectacular place. I always like coming to, just to come back and see folks the first of the year. And kind of a reunion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jim, who bought the Microsoft space? Can you say?
I don't know who it is, but I heard from the guys who sell it that it went like that.
It's It's one of the best. spaces.
It's wonderful space, and it's also not the biggest by any sense of the imagination.
Is it LG?
Well, I would say LG and Samsung are probably vying for that. Panasonic has had a big space for many years. So,
Sony as well.
Sony has a huge space. There's Intel. I find that really interesting because people make the comparison a lot with the former Comdex and what's happened. That went away.
Right.
Well, the technology that there again, as I said, used to be in computers is now in all of these devices, and you've got huge exhibits here, and the space. I would bet that next year they probably have more than half of it sold already.
Yeah, but it is a post-PC world, and that's one of the things that's helping you.
Oh, exactly.
Comdex was all about PCs.
Right.
It's gone.
And that migrated, all of that technology migrated to everything else.
It's in cars, and you see every major manufacturer here on the show floor.
Well, that's the other thing. I said, I was talking to another old soldier pal of mine the other night, and we said, I came to the CES and an auto show broke out. and this is the week that the Detroit Auto Show is going on. And you go over there, and it's not, we've always had automotive electronics, but it was aftermarket stuff and little booths.
The North Hall,
Have you been to the Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Kia, Ford, GM OnStar? You are talking about serious auto show kind of stuff, unveiling cars, the gesture technology with the clear dashboard. It is absolutely spectacular.
Well, in fact, I asked Alan Mullally, the CEO of Ford, I said, when you saw the schedule, were you going crazy? He said, no, I flew from Delhi to Detroit to Vegas. I'm here, baby.
Yeah.
This is the place you need to be. Right. And they unveiled the 2013 Fusion here. And I think that the Detroit Auto Show is still very important in Detroit, but boy, the car companies are here.
Right, they want to be here, and as someone made the point that if the automobile were invented today, it would be introduced here.
It's a consumer electronics device.
Right,
I agree with you.
Exactly.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that, because I have to say, we missed Comdex. It was really fun. It was a chance for everybody to get together. But CES has not only picked up the slack, but done and then so. And frankly, it always was the more fun of the two shows.
Exactly.
I love going to CES.
Well, and this is a trade show also. That's the other thing. This is just a business show. I always tell folks, they can go to your websites and stuff. They can also go to cesweb.org, which get a virtual show. I tell all my pals back east that always tell me they're wishing they were here.
They don't have to anymore, but there's enough press coverage. How much press is here?
It's north of 6,000, maybe 7,000. We started saying a few years ago, actually, we had this conversation a few years ago that this stopped being a trade show and became an event.
It is an event.
We have much more press than the World Cup, than the Super Bowl. You just have to be here.
Every major network is here. And the CEA did some interesting deals this year with Spike, with The Verge, with Engadget.
Exactly.
So you really are partnering with people to make sure that coverage coverage is here.
Oh, right. And I've been working with the press here for 18 years. I've been writing about this stuff, and as a magazine editor for over 30 years now, as we all know. But I've been doing this with CEA for 18 years as a spokesman and working in the press room when the press room was across the way before this hall was built and all the rest of that stuff.
Absolutely.
So it really has grown, and each of the networks now has their dedicated person handling technology who are very good, like Becky Worley with ABC, who knows her stuff, that kind of stuff. Paul Hockman was on the Today Show and MSNBC, who was here, and of course our friends at CBS, who now own CNET.
And Corey and everybody. I mean, you've got a great press corps here.
Yeah. Oh, it's excellent.
In fact, it threatens me a little bit because we've always traditionally been the most knowledgeable, the geekiest, and now there's so many geeks here.
Well, you've got room for everybody. We were having that discussion, some of the other guys in the press room, that I used to do these years ago. I'd be doing a radio interview back in Boston in the morning, and they'd say, okay, what's going on at the show? And I'd tell them. Now you get on the phone with these guys, and they've got your site. You know, they've got all these sites up, they've got all the coverage, and they want to ask, have you seen such and such? You know?
Exactly.
And I say, well, you know, there's 20,000 products introduced here. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yes. How international is this show?
As we'd say back in Boston, wicked international. That's one of the biggest growth areas. This is another conversation. I'm glad you brought that up. We had yesterday that walking down the halls and in the press room, it's like walking down Broadway in New York, like the United Nations, the many, many languages. Last year of the 149,000 or so, a little over 30,000 were international. I would bet, and it's more than that this year.
Yeah. I was over in the Hilton, and they were doing the CES announcements as they're doing right now in Chinese, but not just Mandarin, in 4 dialects of Chinese, one after the other. And I thought, wow, I guess it is an international show.
I saw a question in the chat room a moment ago saying, does China have a CES booth? In a sense, they do.
In a sense, they do,
Well, just look, if you look at the exhibitors list and just look in the Shenzhen area,
right.
There are 50 companies from Shenzhen. Which is a big Chinese industrial zone. So, hey, it's really great to meet you. I don't know why we haven't met before, but Jim, thanks for coming by.
Paths. Nice to see all of you guys. I'm glad to see you here at the show, and look forward to seeing you again.
We're going to be back next year. We sure will. In our Sky booth here at in the South Hall.
This is a nice spot, too.
I know. I love it. Look at this view we got. We just got to move these earthquake guys. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. Did you say something?
We roll our mics off at 20 hertz so you can't hear.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim. Jim Barry from the CEA, the Consumer Electronics Association. They put on CES each and every year, and they do a really spectacular job of it. You can imagine the logistics.
Exactly.
They have a room upstairs where they have a map of the whole thing, and people are going up all through CES bidding on the booths for next year.
Exactly.
So they're actually literally selling those booths right now.
And those booths ain't cheap.
I didn't want to put them on the spot. I didn't think you'd tell me. Okay.
But they're very expensive.
Yeah, not cheap at all. Fortunately, we don't buy our booths; they give it to us, so we're very grateful.
You're not taking up other space that would be paid for, though.
No, we're our Sky booth. The other thing is there is a media area, kind of a Sky booth for media, and Fox and everybody goes up there and they do their shots over there in the Central Hall, down in the Central Hall. And we didn't want to be where everybody else was. We wanted to have something unique that we could call all our own, that we weren't rotating in and out.
Yeah.
And they were very gracious to us. They gave us this space. They gave it to us, I think, 3 years ago, and we've been using it ever since, and we just love it. All right, are you ready to discover what gaze technology is?
What in the world is gaze?
Let's find out. Anders Olsson is here from Tobil.com. Hi, Anders.
Hello there.
It's great to see you. Move that mic up real close, because you're a tall guy, and it's
something
noisy
like that.
Here.
There
you hear me now?
I see a Windows 8 tablet in front of you.
Yep.
I see a very interesting-looking laptop in front of you. First of all, what is gaze technology?
Well, Toby, we're a company, we build eye tracking solutions. An eye tracker is something you put at the bottom of your screen that can measure with about this level of precision where you're looking at the screen.
People have been raving about this demo all CES. I'm glad to finally see it. So that laptop has an eye tracker on it?
Yep. So right at the bottom here, there's an eye tracker, and that makes it possible to utilize this gaze technology as you're talking about.
Can I use it instead of a mouse?
Yep, that's the basic idea. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to show that everything you can do on a tablet is immediate. That's why people love tablets.
Yes.
Everything you do on a laptop is kind of indirect. You move this mouse pointer around, and then you click. And we've taken away the whole intermediate step. of moving the mouse pointer around.
So was this originally developed for disabled users? Or?
Yep. So go back just a couple of years. That's pretty much the only place where you saw it.
Right.
People with severe disabilities, they would use their eyes both to point, and then they would keep staring at whatever they want to point
And
at.
that would
Say
be
it's
a click.
word.
That would click.
It would click, and then it would speak that word.
Now,
for them.
I don't know how we're going to demo this, but because right now we only see the back of your laptop. Can you kind of slide it a little bit so kind of turn it
Yeah,
at an angle?
if I put it here, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I would love to see. We're not going to see the screen, but I would love to at least see what the device, the gaze, looks like. Now, is this something I can add as an aftermarket to an existing laptop, or do I need to buy it to be a laptop?
Yeah, we're not in the business of building laptops. So the way we're going to see this going to the market is first as just these very small peripheral clip-ons that you just clip onto your regular screen.
Okay.
And then a
kind
couple
of
years down.
like a Kinect.
Yeah, just like
and one of the things Microsoft announced here is Kinect for the desktop, so you can use Kinect with the Windows.
Yeah,
but
and this is
that's going like this. I wouldn't mind something a little subtler.
Yeah, so they've announced the Kinect for the desktop, and we've kind of announced the Kinect for the eyes. You can put it that way.
So I see this, but we're now seeing clearly. This is a bar at the bottom of the screen. You see that right there. And is it a camera in there? How are we tracking your eyes?
Yeah, in here there's a couple of illuminators, a couple of sensors. The illuminators send this infrared light right into the eyes, and then the sensors pick up the reflections that end up in your eyes.
And I don't see the infrared light.
No.
I'm not.
So you don't see it at all.
Here we are. We're under television lights. It's very bright. Is that going to interfere with it?
No, it should be working fine anyway. In very, very strong direct sunlight, you're going to get problems.
Does it tire the eyes to be always looking where you want the mouse to go?
No, I mean, that's what we've discovered, that the eyes anyway naturally look right where you want to be.
You're doing it anyway.
Yeah, if I want to open up Explorer, I'm going to look at the Explorer icon. So there's no extra step there. It's just that we've taken away a step.
So the clicking is not blinking or staring. You have an actual, you click the mouse.
Yeah, going back to what we said before, if you have disabilities, you would just stare until it gets activated.
Right, but that takes too long.
Yeah, if you have the hands, why not use them?
Right. Yeah. So a regular mouse button is what I would do.
Yeah, just a fast button, then you feel the hands are great for issuing control, the eyes are great for pointing.
So instead of using a trackpad or a mouse, now have you been doing this yourself, Anders? I mean, are you using this technology?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you like it?
Yeah, you get addicted to it after a while. It's just so nice.
So how important is it to keep your head still if you're bobbing around? Does that matter?
Yeah, you can move around freely. So there's no problems like that. So I can move around just any way I want. I can't move away like very far from the laptop. It's not going to work. But if I sit in any kind of normal situation in front of the laptop, even if I'm moving my head around, it still works. So basically what we've done is we've taken the whole concept of touching something. That's why I brought this touch device.
Right.
It's immediate. You touch something, your finger is down.
Right.
Now on a laptop screen, even if it was touch enabled, it gets kind of tiresome to move your finger all the way out. You get a pain in your butt. So we pretty much have this virtual finger. So if I'm looking at the screen now and then touch, instead of touching the screen, I touch the mouse pad right where I'm looking. And then I get this virtual finger on the screen, and I can use that for whatever I want.
So it's not always tracking your eyes. You touch the mouse pad to say, what I'm looking at right now, that's what I want.
Yeah, so it tracks the eyes all the time, but it doesn't do things out of it.
See, that was one of the fears I'd have, is my mouse is going to be, my cursor's moving all over the place as I look around. No.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, okay.
No, we want, as long as I'm just looking, if I'm not issuing any commands, the screen should be doing what it's always doing, and it's not until I touch that something happens.
Sounds like because of the accuracy to which it can determine, you're best off with an interface that's meant for a touch environment.
Yeah, so for a touch environments, and that's why something like Win 8 is kind of cool now, because when that's coming out, they've optimized it for both, which means it's suddenly optimized for gaze technology as well.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can see your screen well enough to see this actually at play. We've got Brent is kind of moving around here. We've got, we weren't planning on doing a handheld camera, but fortunately we have Brent by, who is the best. So I guess we can kind of see your screen. You want to try? Go ahead, try it.
Okay, well, let's give it a try. So, I mean, the basic idea...
Can you turn the screen brightness up at all? Is there...
let's see if it's...
It's so bright in here. And it's
no, it seems to be on maximum.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can see that, but I can just tell you what I'm doing. If I look now at the paint play game here, I just need to look at it and then touch, and boom, I'm right into the paint play. I go back. If I want to go into Word, I just look at it, and now I'm in Word. Here I got these two documents open, and the computer always knows what I'm looking at. So anything I do, it'll do it based on where I'm looking. So I'm looking at this right one now, and then as I want to sort of swipe through it, I just do a movement, and then it swipes me through that document.
That is so cool, because I often have two documents open, and I'm changing what I think is one, and it's really the other one.
Yeah, you're typing in the wrong place. You don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, that is so cool.
How hard was it to get used to this?
It doesn't take long. It takes you a few minutes because, as I said, it's like backbone reflection.
Right.
I actually have my kids, less than 1 year old. I've put them in front of an eye-controlled game.
And they get it.
They just get it right away because it's like, ooh, there's something, look at it.
Right.
That's an Asteroids game where you just...
And you're keeping your hand... Could you have a game on here you could show us?
We don't have the Asteroids game on here, I'm sorry. But it's really fun. There we do it completely hands-free just to get the wow effect. So you can have your hands tied behind your back and just look at those asteroids and they all blow up.
That would be fun. I'd like it in the game. I think that would be really neat.
Yeah.
So you get used to keeping your hand on the trackpad, looking at what you want, just tapping when it's somewhere you want to click, and then you tap again to click.
Yep, that's right.
That actually does seem like a fairly fluid, easy...
Yeah, and even nicer is if you're an explorer or somewhere you want to zoom into something, that's kind of hard to do on a laptop, whereas it's easy on a touch. You just do that movement.
Right.
Now it's the same thing. Whatever you want to look at is where you're going to zoom in, and then you just do the same kind of pinching movement to zoom in, zoom out.
Is this for sale now?
It's not for sale now. It is for sale for people with disabilities, and it's moving more into mainstream.
Do you expect
markets.
to have it available sometime this year?
In a year or so, it's going to go into more like high-end professional segments. Going to throw out the 3D mouse for CAD people, for example.
Right.
And then a couple of years down the line, really go into mainstream consuming.
And the breakthrough really is that you now have technologies that are small enough you can put in a little bar below the screen, and they're accurate.
Yeah.
Because I've seen devices in the past that were, was challenging to use. So this is
accurate is more, and even more important is robust. Like it's got to work on me, it's got to work on you, it's got to work on you.
A couple people in the chat room have been asking about Stephen Hawking and whether or not he might be using a prototype, because it certainly seems appropriate for him.
Yeah, it's a great technology for a person like Stephen Hawking. He's not using it right now, though.
If this is detecting your eye, what if you only have one eye? Does it work then?
It works with one-eyed people as well. It's a little bit less accurate and a little bit less robust.
Now, it would seem that you could also detect a couple other things, like what if you could detect what your mouth is doing, if you're smiling or frowning.
Yeah.
That might be interesting.
Yeah, you could have a mouth tracker and an eyebrow tracker. Whatever you want.
Sure.
Very neat. TOBIL.com. Do you have some demos online there? That people can see?
TOBII.com.
I'm sorry. I thought it was it's Tobii.
Yeah.
TOBII.com.
That's right.
Misinterpreted that. And Anders Olsson, thank you so much for stopping by and showing us this. People have been talking about it ever since I think it was a digital experience that you were showing this off, and everybody's wanted to see it. So thank you for stopping by and showing us. Anders Olsson from Tobii, TOBII.com. In just a bit, the award-winning TNT, Tech News Today, the award-winning,
look at that,
best news show on the web. According to the International Association of Web TV.
And who better to know?
They will be here. And that thing is a heavy mother. You can kill somebody with that. I'll tell you. That's a Miss Marple mystery waiting to happen right now. But we'll leave that there so they can...
Leo Laporte in the brick house.
Stab. So we have a few minutes to wrap up and get your thoughts. Let me start with you, Kirk Harnack. We're going to be back here in a few months for the NAB show, which is really much more down up your alley. Yeah. But did you enjoy the show? Or have you enjoyed it? Do you come to CES every year?
Well, the last 2 years I have, and almost didn't come this year. That's why we didn't get to do the TWiT show on Wednesday. Because it was last minute I decided to come here. It turns out a bunch of my colleagues were here. And
it's one of those things where you don't go, and then you start saying, I really want to be here.
How did you find a hotel room? They were totally booked, I heard.
You might. I'm part owner of 7 radio stations. I own the part that doesn't make any money, and my business partner lives here in Vegas.
Oh, so as a friend.
Free accommodation.
There you go. Very nice.
A great reason to buy a bad radio station. So you own 7 radios, part owner of 7 radios? That's neat. That's really great.
The cool ones are out in American Samoa.
Yes, I know.
Where they didn't get the date change. It just came the date line now goes between Samoa and American Samoa. That was in the news for a bit here.
Right.
Yeah, you leave American Samoa any Friday, and you show up in Western Samoa on Sunday. But
that's weird.
2 hours later.
Right.
That is weird.
That is really weird.
So I'm glad you made the trip. And are you glad you're here?
Oh, absolutely. And I found the car displays to be fascinating.
Me too.
Especially
the telematics is amazing.
That Ford with the 4 gold doors.
Oh, yeah. That's a concept car.
Well, yeah. The way they have it, can you park next to other cars with that?
No. And you don't want to open the door in the rain because it pours in on your head. I think gull wings are nice, but I don't know how practical they are. But that's a beautiful car, isn't it?
But the whole notion of the clear foot area in the front. You got a lot of room there to stretch out. Maybe go to sleep while you're driving.
Soon you'll be able to do that. The car will take you where you want to go.
Exactly.
It's funny. I asked Alan about that because I want that. In fact, there's a lot of conversation about distracted driving and how dangerous it is. We're all, more and more kids, especially, are texting, and we're all terrified about this. And that's one of the reasons Ford does sync the way it does with voice activation, so you don't have to twiddle knobs or look down at a screen.
Right.
He's very cognizant of this, very aware of this. And I said, well, the safest car would be one that drives itself.
Right.
And he said, well, I got to tell you, I worked at Boeing. He was at Boeing for 30 years.
Wow.
He designed every Boeing cockpit right up to the 777, and most of those are fly-by-wire cockpits.
Right.
But he says, you don't get rid of the pilot. These planes could land and take off all by themselves. We don't. You have humans there. And he said, the best way to use these technologies is for situational awareness, to help the driver be a better driver.
Yeah.
So now, when you leave the lane, you get a warning alert, you get pre-tensioning of the seatbelts, your car might slow down as it gets too close to a car in front of it. That's what some of the things they're doing. So the car is giving you a lot of feedback about where you are in space, but ultimately the human is the one that's making the decision.
And I think the key to designing that feedback is designing it in such a way that it seems natural.
It's natural.
For whatever it is that it's warning you about.
Yes,
that's one of the things I asked him about. I said, you've got to improve your user interfaces and you see this in every car as they get more complex. Look at the Audi A8. Get in the car. It's got 800 buttons. There's so many buttons. They're going down the console. They have buttons in the back. It goes all the way. And they have to because there's so many features. So that's one thing that they have to learn from our industry, how to make stuff easier to use.
That's right.
Well, think about the difference between a not to put Sony down, but a Sony or anybody's universal remote and an Apple remote.
Just what I was about to mention.
The trade-off, though, is with an Apple remote, you have to go through so many menus, up, down, over. And so
I think we're going to start a rumor here that Apple is not only going to announce a TV, but a car. And
yes, the iCar.
The iCar will all line up to buy it.
So there's so much home automation here. Is that going anywhere?
We're in fact in front of the home automation booths. And I every year go back and look, and you know what's really stopped them, I think, is there's no unified standard. Now, they're getting closer and closer. There's a Home Connect standard that companies are starting to get behind. If they could come up with a standard that every device used, so every device interoperated with every other device, we might have some hope.
This is the beauty of standards. There are so many of them.
You know that well in the radio business, I'll tell you.
And now, if they had the same standard, though, the guys in the Wave Alliance booth would be screwing with the guys in the Zigbee booth.
That's the problem.
With their stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem.
Hey, watch that door open and close.
Yeah,
right.
I think that there's a hope. Z-Wave seems to be the leader right now. What do you think?
I don't know. I would love, as an engineer at radio stations, I would love to be able to deploy sensors at transmitter sites or in studios that would conveniently talk to each other and give me a beautiful interface. And the ones at the transmitter site 30 miles away would be talking over the internet.
It's a dream we all have.
Yeah.
But it's not. But look how poorly it's going in consumer electronics.
Yeah.
Where every remote's different, every TV's different.
Yep.
I don't have high hopes for it, but boy, if people would just stop being so proprietary about it, allow open standards to exist.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, there might be a chance.
Yeah.
As Web 8156 said in our chat room, I just want my home theater stuff to work together. And it's true, it doesn't. You have to configure everything, and
there are plenty of universal remotes that you can use to integrate things.
And how do you get them to work? You have to go through
program them. You have to go through a process.
And every universal remote I have controls every item but one. And it's a different but one for every universal remote I have.
Well, so humans are imperfect. We can't seem to get together on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's like politics. I think we may have to live with home automation that doesn't quite
I have been amazed by all the headphones out there, and honestly, I'm still not impressed by most of them.
Well, I'm
a snob, but
no, and I'm really glad that you brought these Able Planet folks by, because I'd never heard of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's very intriguing what they're doing. So
absolutely,
I really want to listen.
I want to listen to those too.
Yeah.
And we have a whole headphone website who's represented here, and he, I'm sure, is terribly busy. Tyle Hertzens is our editor, and I'm sure he is just running himself ragged looking at all these headphones.
Well, I think that what it reflects not only is the fact that we're all used to wearing headphones now because of our iDevices, but also that people don't buy stereos anymore. They don't have the room or the money to buy a stereo system. But if you do want good fidelity, a headphone is one way. When we were growing up, that's what we do. We'd put, remember the records? You put a record on the turntable, you'd have the liner notes, and you'd put the headphones on, and you'd lie on your back, and you'd stare at the... And that
I did that in high school.
That was the way we listened to music, and I don't think it's a bad way to do it. Your final thoughts, Scott Wilkinson?
I think this has been, for me, a revolutionary show. The OLED TV as an actual product is going to change the face of television.
You convinced me.
It's amazing. We saw a lot of 4K, which was very important, I think. But again, that's less important to me because of there's no 4K content, and there isn't going to be for years.
Right.
And we saw the 8K display at Sharp, which looked amazing, but they were showing their own custom 8K footage.
Stuff shot by NHK. Once again, it's the Japanese television stations and PBS that are doing all of the, the forward thinking stuff.
Yeah, so the OLED, I cannot wait to get one into review. I will probably buy it. And it just looks so stunning. You saw it. We all saw it. It was just like jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
So that, just plus walking around in the booths and stuff, the LG booth, wasn't that amazing?
Did you see the wrist phone? I want to say it was Berg, and it's a wrist phone. You take your SIM card out of your whatever your phone is, and you slip it in this phone. You answer it by shaking it.
But then you have to walk around with your head next to you.
Shades of Dick Tracy.
It's noisy here in the booth. They couldn't really demonstrate it, but for a night on the town when you don't want to carry a smartphone somewhere on you. Looked like a good idea.
We are going to wrap this up. TNT is coming up next. I am done. I'm going to fly home, but we are going to be back for NAB. The NAB show is coming up in April, and we're very excited. We're the official streaming partner for the NAB show, so we will be back here.
It's going to be fun.
You know, it's interesting. We get more viewers for that than we do for CES, and I think it's because CES is so heavily covered. There's so many choices you have for watching this.
Yeah.
But the NAB really it's us.
We like it that way.
We like it that way. Scott Wilkinson, great job. Everybody should watch Home Theater Geeks. This was an amazing one.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. You'll be back, of course, 1:30 next week with a wrap-up of CES.
That's
1:30 Monday.
That's right. I'll have Tom Norton and Barb Gonzalez on to wrap up our whole coverage of CES. I'll be on the radio show on Sunday with a little bit of a wrap-up as well.
Great. Look forward to it.
Me too.
Kirk Harnack, you're the best. We really appreciate all the help you've given us with our audio chain. You know, we talk about video a lot, but really audio is first and foremost for us formerly as a radio guy, and frankly because audio podcasts are a big source of our downloads. And we couldn't do it without the incredible Axia system we have in the Brick House and the incredible Omnia processing. And it's thanks to this guy, Kirk Harnack. We owe you big time, Kirk.
Thanks.
This Week in Radio Technology. We'll see you back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
5 Pacific. Sure.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
In fact, our guest is going to be a fellow named Tony Gervasi, who's the the director of engineering for an East Coast chain of radio stations,
I know
Nassau
Tony.
Broadcasting.
Yeah.
And he's going to be. He was here on the floor. Has some great ideas about radio broadcasters and how they need to be. What their content needs to be, and maybe radio getting together with Pandora. Now, there's nothing official about that.
Let's save radio.
There's some good ideas there.
I like that idea. And as the part owner of 7 failing stations, you must as well.
That's right.
They're not failing. They're doing great. I just like to tease them.
Yeah.
I just like to tease them. Hey, thank you, everybody. TNT is coming up next. I'm headed out to the airport, see if we can get a plane at McCarran Field and head on home. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of CES. It's not over. There's lots more to come. I'm Leo Laporte on behalf of our entire staff and crew working so hard here at CES. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next year in Vegas.